Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Jakejames Lugo. Welcome to the channel and welcome to this brand new unboxing and impressions video. We're going to be taking a look at the Final Fantasy 15 official works from Dark Horse Comics. Now, Dark Horse did not send me this for review. I actually bought this myself with my own money, so big shout out to them for having it available for me to buy. But either way, I wanted to look at this for quite a while and I found it at a good price, so let's just dive into this. As I'm unwrapping and taking off the plastic, of course, leave me a comment down below what your favorite books from Dark Horse are, or some of your favorite moments for Final Fantasy 15. Since this is a Final Fantasy 15 focused book, there's going to be a lot of 15 talk in here. It's going to be interesting too because I've covered this game for years. Ever since it was known as Final Fantasy Versus 13, I've written about it, written reviews about it, did the video review here on this channel that you guys could check out as well. But either way, talk to me about this stuff down below in the comments. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, so we're looking at another Dark Horse Comics book. Of course, you guys know I love the Dark Horse Comics books because I feel like they're handled very, very well and they're beautiful. Of course, this is the insert. We're going to put this on the inside of it. It just talks a little bit about what's in this book, what it covers. It's everything related to Final Fantasy 15. So everything regarding its release, its history, a lot of the stuff involving the world itself. I believe it's called Insomnia, or the main city is called Insomnia, but a lot of the different stuff within the world itself. But of course, too, look at this cover. This is a cool cover featuring all the main guys, your whole crew, you and the boys, Noctis, Iggy, Gladius, Prompto, all the main dudes in here, and then a nice shot on the back of the logo. I actually like the logo of Final Fantasy 15. I think it's a dope logo. Not as elaborate, I don't think, as some of the other Final Fantasy logos. For the different games, but it still looks cool regardless. So I'm going to put the insert in here like I always do for all the different Dark Horse books that we look at. So I'm actually going to put it like this. Let's look in the inside of it. But yeah, Final Fantasy 15 official works. Look at this table of contents. So we got a lot of stuff. We got the playback, we got material, we got extra stuff, and look, little silhouettes of the guys. There goes Noctis in his older form, or I guess you could say like his future form, something like that, or whatever you want to call it. But look into this. The universe of Final Fantasy 15. So we got the Platinum demo, which I played back in the day. I actually think I did a video here on the channel that was showcasing the Platinum demo way back when. Then we got the first demo version, it's like a history of it, the development of FF15, Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15, which is the movie, or actually no, the anime. Sorry, is the anime. Kingsglaive is the movie. Kingsglaive was the CG movie. If you never checked it out, definitely look it up because it has a lot of events that take place before Final Fantasy 15, leading into the events of the game. The favorite pinball game, which I believe is called, what is it? It's called Justice Monsters, yeah, which is that extra mobile app that they had. And then finally we get into some of the other stuff, including the release of the game, the main story, everything that comes along with it, the prologue, A King's Tale, which is that spin-off title. I reviewed that on this channel, by the way. You could definitely go check out the review right now if you guys are curious about what this game actually was. It was a beat-em-up, and it was kind of meh, for lack of a better word. Okay, episode Gladiolus, which is the DLC, and then it gets into some of the other DLC, including episode Prompto, King's Knight, which is the mini-game, the mobile app, New Empire for smartphones, Comrades, which is the multiplayer DLC, Monster of the Deep, episode Ignis, which was really good. I actually liked episode Ignis. I thought it was really dope. And then at the end, we got the Royal Edition. I believe they do. They have a episode. What was it? Oh my God, the last dude. Oh my God, there was the other DLC that came out. I can't remember the last name of it all. I know I'm going to see the guy's name and it's going to immediately come back to me. But there was another DLC that came out with this as well that had extra stuff in it, which, funny enough, they never got to develop all the DLC for this game. Okay, A King's Journey. Look at this. I love these like full high-res images. It's this guy right here that I was talking about with the DLC. This guy's name. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me in a second. Because I know I'm going to be looking at all this. I'm going to see his name. But I'm loving the high-res images. Look at this. A whole prologue giving you details and backstory of everything leading up to the beginning of Final Fantasy 15. Character profiles of Noctis, Gladi, Ignis, Prompto, everybody. They even got shots from the anime. I dig that. That's actually really cool. So thus far, if you're digging, or if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy 15, there's a lot in here. So I'm guessing it's going to go through all chapters, so there will be spoilers in here, more than likely. We got Sid and Sydney. Of course, everybody's favorite mechanic now. Okay, all this stuff. Okay, what was this guy's name again? Because I keep like missing it. They call him the Suspicious Man, but I know his name's in here. I'm just like forgetting it, and I'm like totally kicking myself in the butt over it. But I really dig the high-res images. What I don't like is some of the boxes here. I can already tell they're a little bit hard to read because of the transparency of it. I wish that they were just solid boxes, like just solid white or solid gray even. Something with like white text or something like that to make them a little bit much more pop out, you know, to make them a little bit better to read. And I see a lot of other characters down here, obviously, like I mentioned. Old stuff, so I'm guessing it's going through all the different stuff for the different chapters. So I'm going to skip through some stuff here, but I really like the layout of some of this stuff, all the screenshots. There's a lot of info in here, so I'm guessing they get into big spoilers with all the events, as I could already tell. The regalia, look at this car, man. This car is so fantastic. Regalia is such a clean car, and they actually built one in real life, or they built a couple of them that you could actually buy. A little more stuff in here. I keep going. Chapter 4. I'm going to start skipping through a lot of it. As you can tell, it goes through all the stuff. Hold on. This is the shot. This is when they actually get, what is it? This is where they actually get, Rama. The summons, when they start getting the summons. Look at this. This is so cool. This shot of the summon of Rama. In the game, as you actually watch it, it looks so freaking... I remember the best reaction that I saw to this was Angry Joe's review. If you ever seen his review before, you know that point where he's actually looking at the cutscene, his jaw just drops. He's like, yes, I'm a Final Fantasy fan now. It's like, that's totally a valid reason. It's such a cool scene, and all the summons are cool scenes, but that one in particular, to me, was freaking dope. So let's skip over most of the other stuff here with involving the story. So we get to chapter 11. I'm going to start skipping through it all here because I want to get to some of the extra content. Okay, here we go. Get to some of the party dialogue. Oh, so party dialogue. Let me see this. The world in limbo. Got a whole bunch of stuff in here. So mellows up. Oh, so this is like a breakdown of like all their dialogue that they say. So like little things that maybe you would have missed, like some of the different stuff that the characters like, you know, talk to each other as they're walking around. That's actually pretty cool. And they have the different instances when this could happen. So it says girls, girls, girls. Gladio, if you get beaten, the ladies look down on you. Wouldn't want that on my conscience. What's that supposed to mean? Sorry, it was a joke. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, and I bet you it's better delivered in the game itself. Whoops. So we get to the profiles of lieges, which is all your boys, basically. All the homeboys that are helping you out. Episode Gladiolus. They get to all this stuff. Episode Gladiolus played like Devil May Cry. Like, it felt so different from the actual game. And the same thing with Episode Prompto. Episode Prompto played like Final Fantasy 15 a lot more than what Episode Gladiolus played like. Enter Aranea. What is this guy's name again? God dang it. Like, I can't... Oh my god. It's just going to come back to me. Episode Ignis, which is really cool. Our boy Iggy, always coming up with a new recipe. Whole bunch of stuff. His whole DLC was actually really good. His DLC was actually really, really freaking good. So I will say, in regards to the book itself, because there's a lot of images, I really like that. I keep repeating it, but like looking through all of it now, just you're seeing a lot of the game itself along with the dialogue, but it kind of gives you a good view of what's being done in the game or what's actually in the game itself. So if you've already played this game to completion, you're going to be reliving a lot of different stuff in here. So now this is the stuff I wanted to get to. The history of Ios. Okay, Ios is the world. So Insomnia is the city where Noctis and his crew is from, but Ios or Eos is the main like planet, I guess you could say, the main land that you explore. It's like Spira for Final Fantasy X. That's like the main like planet and stuff. It's the same thing for this game here. We get a whole like timeline, a look at some of the different like key events that lead in through like what goes on in the game itself, all the way through verse 2. And it talks about all this stuff. I guess like because that DLC or that part of the actual story takes place like in the future, they don't give like an actual date, but it talks about all this other stuff leading into the rest of the game. A lot of cool stuff in here. Final Fantasy 15 material. So here's what's here. This is the reason why you get this book. Okay, you get books like this from Dark Horse because to me, Dark Horse is the best when it comes to showcasing a lot of artwork, a lot of the visual material of all the different games. Look at this. Like, this reminds me of like a Renaissance painting of like, you know, of like Jesus of Nazareth or something like that. Along those lines. The same thing with like Noctis and his father. All these different characters. Luna Freya, her brother. Like, I love this stuff. This concept art, this artwork looks beautiful in the full front page. And the same thing even for the half pages. It looks good because they're big enough for you to see, but they're also like organized very, very well. And look at this. Now, again, I'm not a huge fan of like the mid-cut here, but like, look, this is like a full page spread of like Luna Freya like being shown here in front of everybody. Really cool. And same thing with all this artwork, which I'm guessing what are these? Mythic art? Okay, so it's Shiva, It's Shiva the Glacian. Shows her here on the screens. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty cool. There, very, very interesting stuff. Beautiful artwork. Look at that. Shiva's there. Very, very freaking cool. Look at, wait a second. The freaking regalia was once a monster truck? Really? Look at this. Hold on. What does it say here? Collection of designs, collection of the regalia, the party's beloved ride, and the models of the 13 Lucian kings, seen mainly in the game's finale. That's really, really cool. Look at this. Like, that's just the different modes of it. It's really dope. But look, this, you know what this reminds me of? This blueprint? I don't know if you guys have ever seen Batman Returns. There's a blueprint of the Batmobile from that movie. This reminds me of that, like straight up. It looks so freaking dope. And then some of these characters, man, look at these designs. They look so good. They look so freaking good. I love this. The artwork is fantastic. The different locations that you go to. Some of the other big like moments. Look at this. Insomnia looks so freaking dope, man. Look at this shot of the regalia. This is freaking cool. This is like a real like edgy look at the regalia. And I believe that's Shiva. I could be wrong, or that's some sort of other Eidolon or something like that. But this looks dope. It looks like a freaking Batmobile. Straight up. Straight up looks like the Batmobile. And then all these other different shots, man. Again, I'm harping on this. Now, this is the stuff that I love to see. You see this right here? You see this right here, YouTube? Look at this. This is the material that I love to see. The promo material. Where it's just like, you know, promo shots or key art illustrations of like the different, different DLCs. And hopefully we get to see like some of the promo images that they use for like magazines and stuff of the game, because I love that stuff. To me, that stuff is awesome. And when you collect it all in one spot, it looks amazing. Different character shots, comrades, Luna Freya. I know, is that Luna Freya? No, that's not Luna Freya. What is it? But a whole bunch of other different characters like that. Look at this. Look at this. I love this. This is dope. This is super, super dope. I think this is from Kingsglaive, right? Yeah, this is from Kingsglaive. All this stuff is from Kingsglaive. So all the characters in the movie just doing different things, like locations of theirs. Brotherhood, this is from the anime. So if you've never seen the anime, I highly suggest that you watch it. It has a bunch of different stuff related to all the characters that you'll want to know, especially if you're into the lore of Final Fantasy 15. Oh, look at this stuff. The Happy New Year photos. This is pretty freaking cool, man. This is awesome. Some of the different monsters. Oh my god, it's awesome. Check out my man Iggy over here, working the kitchen. Working the outside kitchen, I should say. Always cooking up a brand new recipe. Look at this. I love this. Just the... Oh, wait. These are for the Square Enix Cafe. If these are like in full prints at the cafe, I would be amazed. Because these look great. These look awesome. Look at this. This food... I remember the food in this game looking so real. Like, you just want to just grab some of this stuff. You're like, you want Iggy to cook for you, is all I'm saying. So here's Yoko Shimomura, legend in the video game space. Does a lot of beautiful pieces of music, including Kingdom Hearts, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy 15. The list goes on with this woman. She does so much, and there's a full interview here. We're not going to read it, but you can see like it's got images with the text. I like this when it comes to full like pages of like interviews. More books should follow this format, because when you have images of her, you know, sitting there being interviewed, especially if she's like doing stuff with her work. Now, a lot of this is all of her just getting interviewed, but I would have loved to see some shots of her behind the scenes actually working on some of the music, or maybe like playing something. I actually got to see Yoko at at a concert for Kingdom Hearts. The Kingdom Hearts concert, that the first one that they did actually in LA before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So Keiichi Okabe as well, stuff for Episode Gladiolus. Naoshi Mizuta, all the different people behind Final Fantasy 15 that worked on all this stuff. Yasunori Mitsuda, the list goes on as we keep going here. I love, again, a lot of text, a lot of information in here, but it's still good. Nobuo Uematsu, the man, the myth, the legend. If you know Final Fantasy, you know this man's work, and it's phenomenal. He does some of the best video game music in history. Straight up. I'm putting that on record. And speaking of music, this has all the music listing, the track listings for all the tracks and all the soundtracks for the entire Final Fantasy 15 saga. So we got the original game soundtrack, we got Kingsglaive, the music soundtrack, the movie soundtrack. Final Fantasy 15 original soundtrack volume 2, piano collections, which you know the piano music for FF is always good. What is this? So extras. What is extras? Official works. What is this? Create your own unique avatar, what it means to be a car. Oh, okay, so this is stuff for like the DLC that they have. Like you got little outfits, you got all types of stuff with the advancing the map and the story, the weapons, the sigils, a lot of stuff. Damn, there's a lot of data in here. This reminds me of what they did with the Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia. Same exact idea. that they have here. So the text here on the camera is a little bit small, so you could see along with like the text, you get all these like images of the different weapons. It's a little hard to see because of the focus here because it's so small, but like in person, like looking at it now, it looks great. Like it has all the different stats, the breakdown of all the weapons and like how they affect your stats and how they have like other effects. This stuff is good. Treasure data, look at this. Like you want this stuff. If you're big into Final Fantasy 15, you're gonna want this. Ability data. So Royal Edition, 7 features fit for a king. So I guess this is the extra stuff that comes with the Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. You got a new version of it. Oh, so that freaking, what is it? That monster truck version, you could get that in the game? I didn't know this. I don't remember this at all. I'm going to check that out one day. Okay, because look, it's a monster truck version of the Regalia, which is freaking sweet. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff here. More deep sea fishing, playing Noctis in first person mode, which again, you guys can see on the camera. They got screenshots of it. I wish the screenshots were maybe a little bit larger and maybe organized a little bit different with the text, but there's a lot in here, so I could forgive it a little bit, but that again, it's still my own little nitpick. We have even more in here. Okay, Armature Unleashed, a whole bunch of stuff. Info on Aeos. The map of Crown City is bigger. Okay, so the Crown City, like again, you got more places you could explore. New side quests. Again, it goes through everything in here. Okay, Cerberus. Check that out. That actually looks pretty dope. Again, the images are small, but there's a lot of info in there. And the same thing in here with the, what is it? They got an interview with these guys, the directors, or the director, I should say. All this stuff. Look at this. This is great. This is great. Like, again, I'm skimming through it now, and I'm not reading it, but there's a lot of info in here. Look, Hajime Tabata's in here. Look at that. A whole bunch of stuff. I saw Hajime Tabata in person at E3 one year. It was pretty cool. I think it was before 15 came out. I could, or actually, no, was it before or after? I can't remember when I saw him. He was like running around the Square Enix area. Yeah, and then all like the original language and Japanese language, like credits and stuff. This is a great book. This is a great book for Final Fantasy 15 fans. If you're a big FF fan and just collect everything Final Fantasy, or if you just love Final Fantasy 15, pick up this book. This book is awesome. I'm going to read through some of it later, grab myself a nice drink and just go through everything in here. But if you want my final verdict, pick up this book. There's a lot of great stuff in here. It'll be a great addition to your gaming book collection. Dark Horse does it again. It's available now at a bunch of different places like Barnes & Noble. I got mine on Amazon, though, for a very good price. So definitely check it out when you can. So anyway, those are my thoughts about the Final Fantasy 15 official works. Let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments section. Leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel as well for more videos kind of like this, because I'm going to be looking at more books that have been coming in the mail very, very soon, including some really good gaming ones I know you guys are going to love. That being said, I will talk to all of you again very soon. Peace out, and stay epic, everybody. Hey, thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it enough to check out some of my other videos I'll list here on the side in just a moment. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel to see new content that I post up as it goes out. You can also join my Patreon for early access to new videos and exclusive content you'll only see over there. Don't forget to join my Discord server via the link in the description too. There's a lot of great people who love gaming and make an amazing community in there that I know you'll love being part of. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace out and stay epic, everyone.